Your creativity is no joke. Your creativity is everything. It's your life, it's your spirit, it's the entire reason you're here. We're always creating. We're never not creating, whether subconsciously or consciously. But a lot of us are stifling this creativity, stifling our spirit, because it's our spirit, right? They're one and the same. Creativity and spirit, same thing, because we are creators by nature. Even the things that we don't consider creative, even like doing administrative work, for example, is still creating. It's still creating something. It's creating a reality. It's creating a situation. It's creating a system. So we're always creating, right? The difference between people who are master artists or enlightened beings versus the people who are just kind of in the grind of a miserable life is just a matter of awareness. It really is. A matter of awareness and a matter of willingness to embody their fullest creativity. Because the thing is, a lot of people fight themselves on their creativity. We learn this in our society. We learn this in our world, right? We learn that our creativity is unsafe. We learn that it's unacceptable. And we learn also that it will lead us to poverty. We learn that creativity is not a viable career. We learn that creativity is not something that's going to lead us anywhere that is good. We think we have to take on the really hard job, the suffering job, to be worthy, to have virtue. But your creativity is no joke. It's everything, and it is your key to abundance in this life. I've seen so many people say, well, what about this? What about that? What about people who are in this situation? What about... Okay, so any situation, again, has been created through creativity. That is the power we have. That's the power we all have, whether we are creating it ourselves or whether we're allowing it to be created by outside forces. Ooh. Your power lies in your ability to take back your creativity, to follow it, to trust it. Even if you're not seeing the outside results you think should be coming from it right away, trusting in your creativity without the audience in mind. I like when Rick Rubin says that about not keeping the audience in mind when you're creating. That goes for anybody, content creators or in regular life. If you have other people in mind, or if you have other situations in mind when you're creating something, it's never going to reach its fullest potential. It's never going to be the fullest thing it could be, right? That pause just now was intentional. That pause is how you get to know what your creativity is. To become still enough and to become in touch with yourself enough without the external noise, without your mental noise as well. To know with the sureness of your heart, your soul, your entire being, an entire aligned being, what it is you're here to create. And you don't have to have the whole structure planned out. You don't have to have the whole thing understood. It's just about following the pure essence of that impulse to create from the heart. I find myself, when I'm trying to create things that I think will get people's attention, that I think will make people see me as a perfect artist, that I think will strategically get me ahead, I find it completely unsustainable. And I find that I actually avoid being seen. I avoid being online. I avoid creating. I avoid sharing my truth. Because I associate creativity with like a grind, with heaviness, with, again, there's a fear attached to it about what other people think, about what it means for me if I'm showing up a certain way, etc. The list is endless. This is why, if you're a creative and an artist, as we all are, and if you're taking it seriously and on the path of intentionally and consciously expanding this part of you, aka your whole self, expanding your whole self, because your whole self is the creator, then you have to be able to create without boundaries. You have to be able to create without thinking about what other people think. You have to be able to create from your soul. What do you think? What do you feel? What feels joyful? What feels right to you, right? And you're gonna get opinions. You're gonna get polarized opinions. You're gonna get some people who think your energy of creation is odd, weird, off. Oh, well, that's not going to get them to XYZ. That's not the way to get to that place if they're that kind of thing. But you know in your soul, this is so much more enjoyable. This is so much more fun. And I can create like this forever. I can post like multiple videos a day if I'm doing it this way. I can create multiple works of this kind a day if I'm doing it this way. I can just keep doing this. That's how you know you're in your flow, is when you find that thing. But again, usually it's behind your fear. Usually it's behind your repression. Usually we restrict this part of ourselves. We restrict the abundance. We restrict like the literal part of ourselves that would give us the life we want. We restrict that part of ourselves. I think because we are afraid of our own power and how much our life would change if we let it out. Where would it lead? Where would it go? It's unknown. It's mysterious. And that's part of the fun and the thrill. But it's also scary because we may have been burned in the past for allowing that part of ourselves out. We may have been punished. Again, we live in a world that punishes this. We live in a world that makes us afraid of being creative. Because creativity is the most powerful force on the planet. And it will change. The very systems and very, restrictions that we have going on that don't serve us anymore. And there are people who want to keep that going because it does serve them to an extent. It won't forever. But there are people who hold on to these systems because it's all they think they have. And so to see somebody in their true power and creativity come along and just be effortless and in ease and just creating, and for that creativity, and when I say creativity, it could be like your words, what you say, like the way you move, all these things, your creative essence, when it threatens to topple those systems, because it proves that creativity is infinite and that these systems are not, it scares them, and they will try to double down on you to stop you. But you have to really get into that essence to know, listen, I'm not gonna limit my creativity. I'm not gonna let anybody limit my creativity, right? And you just have to know, music's ending, that your most fulfilling path is to let yourself loose. Let yourself loose, baby. That car going by, that engine, it's time to let yourself loose. So do it. And I can't wait to see what you create. Other people can't wait to see what you create. It's exciting. Get excited. That's all. I love you lots. Take care.